You know that feeling when you're swimming in the ocean and something slimy brushes your leg? That half second of pure panic before you realize it's just seaweed. Yeah, imagine if that seaweed had teeth the size of kitchen knives, a neck longer than a city bus, or jaws that could swallow you like a protein shake. There was a time in Earth's history when the water was so dangerous that just seaweed could actually be the last thing you ever felt. These monsters didn't just rule the deep ocean. Some of them could chase you into rivers, estuaries, and even onto the beach. And before you comment, "I could take it, bro," wait until you hear what number one could do to a T-Rex for breakfast. If you think you're built different, smash that like button, subscribe, and drop in the comments how you'd survive any of these nightmares. Let's dive in, if you dare. Starting with what looks like a giraffe that lost a fight with a submarine. Meet Plesiosaurus. This thing was basically nature's proof that long necks weren't just for reaching high leaves. Up to 50 feet long, with a neck making up more than half its body. Imagine a 25-foot pool noodle with flippers and a mouth full of needle teeth. You'd think something that long would be slow and obvious, right? Wrong. That ridiculous neck was a stealth weapon. It could glide through water with almost zero disturbance, like a submarine periscope that decided to become a serial killer. Those 4 powerful flippers let it turn on a dime and accelerate like your ex showing up when you're on a date. This wasn't just a swimmer, it was an underwater sniper. And yes, this is still one of the weaker entries on the list. But if you thought a pool noodle predator was bad, wait until you meet the shark that had a built-in circular saw for a mouth. Helicoprion. Picture a 25-foot shark, except instead of normal teeth, it had a single spiral of serrated blades that looked like someone dropped a power tool in the fossil bed. This thing didn't just bite, it sliced, diced, and filleted its prey like a sushi chef on bath salts. The spiral tooth whirl could shred fish, squid, and anything unlucky enough to swim by. Paleontologists still get nightmares looking at those fossils, and we're only getting started. Next up, the absolute unit that made every modern spider look like a joke. Jekyllopterus, the giant sea scorpion, 8 feet long. Yes, you heard that right. This was the largest arthropod to ever live. Basically a scorpion that said screw land and became a submarine. No need for a stinger when you've got claws longer than your arm that could snap with enough force to cut bone like butter. Fossils show bite marks that look like a wood chipper had a bad day, and the worst part, scientists think they hunted in packs, because one 8-foot murder lobster clearly wasn't terrifying enough. But if a pack of giant sea scorpions isn't enough to ruin your beach trip, meet the armored tank with built-in guillotine jaws, Dunkleosteus, 33 feet of pure nope. This wasn't a fish, it was a living war machine covered in thick, bony armor. Instead of teeth, it had self-sharpening bone blades that could shear through almost anything. Bite force, around 8,000 pounds per square inch. That's enough to turn a car into scrap metal. Oh, and it was a cannibal. Even other Dunkleosteus looked at each other and thought, lunch. Now let's talk about the dinosaur that couldn't decide if it wanted to be a crocodile, a boat, or a nightmare. Spinosaurus, 50 feet long, with a sail on its back that looked like it was cosplaying as a battleship. Dense bones, a tail shaped like a paddle, and pressure sensors in its snout that could detect prey better than a motion detector. While other dinosaurs picked one habitat, Spinosaurus said both and dominated rivers and coastlines. It could swim, pivot underwater, and still sprint on land when it felt like it. Overachiever doesn't even begin to cover it. But if you think a swimming dinosaur is scary, wait until you meet the crocodile that made dinosaurs. It's fast food, Dinosuchus, 35 to 40 feet long and heavy as a school bus. This wasn't your average croc. Its bite force was stronger than a T-Rex. We're talking over 100,000 newtons. Dinosaur bones have been found with dinner plate-sized bite marks from this thing. It had raised eyes for binocular vision and stealth mode so good it could hide underwater, like a submarine with anger issues. Modern crocodiles give you a warning. Dinosuchus just collected souls. Speaking of long necks, let's meet the ultimate periscope predator. 46 feet total, with a 25-foot neck. The body could stay hidden behind rocks or in murky water, while that insane neck sniped prey from any direction like a living harpoon. Scientists believe they hunted in groups. Imagine several of these living Loch Ness monsters coordinating attacks like underwater wolves. Plesiosauruses, bigger, meaner brother. Now let's talk whales. Real whales. The kind that made sperm whales look cuddly. Leviathan, 60 feet of pure oceanic horror. Named after the biblical Leviathan because scientists have excellent taste in metal. This whale didn't eat krill. It ate other whales. Teeth over a foot long, the biggest of any animal ever. Bite force, strong enough to crush a small boat. Sophisticated echolocation to hunt in total darkness. If Moby Dick and a slasher villain had a baby, it would be Leviathan. But even Leviathan had to watch its back, because the oceans belonged to the sea lizards, Mosasaurus, up to 56 feet of muscle, scales, and bad decisions. Double-hinged jaws like a snake on steroids. Serrated teeth, front and back. A shark-like tail that could launch its massive body out of the water like a bus doing a jump scare. It could hunt at any depth and swing its head like a baseball bat once it bit you. If you were in the water with this thing, you weren't prey. You were already gone. And yet, there was still one apex predator that made everything else look like appetizers. Ladies and gentlemen, the final boss of the prehistoric seas, Megalodon, up to 60 feet long, teeth the size of your hand, bite force estimated at over 40,000 pounds per square inch. Scientists literally had to create new measurement methods because this monster broke their equipment. Swimming at speeds up to 45 miles per hour. This wasn't just a shark. This was the shark that hunted other apex predators. It ate ancient whales for breakfast, crushed their skulls like soda cans, and ruled the oceans for millions of years. Even Mosasaurus and Leviathan probably moved to a different ocean when they heard Megalodon was in the area. There you have it. 10 prehistoric nightmares that prove the ocean has always hated us. If you made it to the end without checking your bathtub for sea scorpions, congratulations, you might actually be built different. Drop a like if your survival chances just hit 0. Subscribe for more prehistoric trauma, and tell me in the comments which one of these monsters scares you the most, and how exactly you think you'd escape it. I'll see you in the next one, preferably on dry land. Stay safe out there.